Hello and welcome to the NFL Weekly Report, Week 13. Before I get into any of the top stories of this week, here are my top 5 offensive and defensive plays of the week. As I'm sure everyone knew, on Thursday was Thanksgiving, but also on Thanksgiving is all the games. Well, all the Thanksgiving games were all one-sided. There were no close Thanksgiving games. Calvin Johnson proved that he was back from injury. Mark Sanchez had a much better performance than the last time he played on Thanksgiving when the butt fumble occurred against the worst possible team, the New England Patriots. And the 49ers lose again, which only hypes up the rumors of Jim Harbaugh going to either the Raiders or the New York Jets in the offseason. I'll miss Rex a lot, but if Woody Johnson can get Jim Harbaugh to the Jets, it would make up for the sadness in my heart of losing Rex. Well, on Sunday, the Buffalo Bills were finally able to play in Buffalo again, where they kicked the ass of the Cleveland Browns. Brian Hoyer did so bad, he was eventually replaced by Scooby-Doo. The Cleveland Browns' only touchdown of the game was a rushing touchdown by Scooby himself. Manziel actually had a pretty good game, but unfortunately, Mike Patton has decided to start Brian Hoyer for next week against the Colts. The Colts are obviously going to win, but I do agree with the decision. Even though everyone wants to see Manziel play, you don't get 7 wins by not having a quarterback. So obviously Brian Hoyer does have a few tricks up his sleeve. Colt McCoy got the start for Washington this week when he played Andrew Luck and the Colts. Colt McCoy did actually pretty good. He did a lot better than expected. But when you're playing against Andrew Luck, there's only so much you can do. And well, unfortunately Colt couldn't do enough and the Redskins lost the game. But Colt did so good that he will start next week. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost again. They lose pretty much every week, so that's not surprising. And they always lose in the worst possible ways. But this week takes the cake when they were losing to the Bengals only by 1 point, and they were moving down the field to kick the easy game winner. While all of a sudden, even though there was less than 2 minutes left in the game, Marvin Lewis threw the challenge flag, which everyone knows you cannot challenge a play under 2 minutes, to get the referee's attention because the Buccaneers had 12 men on the field, which would cause them to move back and replay the down. The stupid part about this is instead of the referees ignoring Marvin Lewis, they decided to call the timeout and review the play. More than likely, and it's certain, the referees would have reviewed the play anyway and saw there was 12 men on the field, but the fact that they acknowledged the fact that he threw the challenge flag is ridiculous. That weird challenge timeout, whatever you want to call it, caused him to get out of field goal range, which ended up losing them the game. The New York Giants decided to not play football this week when they lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars. That is so embarrassing. The Giants haven't been doing that great in the last couple of weeks, but they're the Jacksonville Jaguars. It might have been a home game for the Jags, but they are the Jags. You don't do that. You don't lose to the Jags. What's even more depressing is now the Jags have as many wins as the Jets. That is just so sad. But either way, the Jets aren't the ones who lost to the Jags. The Giants did. And that is just so sad. You lost to the Jags, especially when you were winning the entire game. You found a way to let them come back and win it. They're the Jags. The Jags. Probably the best game I saw this week, besides Sanchez laying it on the Cowboys, was Aaron Rodgers laying it on Tom Brady. It was a close game. It was back-to-back. But either way, Rodgers came out victorious, and Tom Brady sat on the sideline crying. But when he wasn't on the sideline crying, he was being walked up and down the sideline like a dog. Apparently Tom Brady's teammates not just won't give him a high five, but they also make him go outside to do his business, like a common stray. The Arizona Cardinals lost again. I'm not exactly sure what they think they're doing. They've been doing so great, and up until this point, the only team besides the Seahawks, and now the Falcons, was the Denver Broncos to defeat them, and that makes sense because, well, Peyton. But the Falcons have been trash all year. If they want to go to the Super Bowl, they can't lose to the Falcons. Drew Stanton may be the backup and now turned starter, but that defense also was playing horrible. Julio Jones had a day against Patrick Peterson, and even before the game, Patrick Peterson was talking all about Julio, like, I want him to try me. He tried you, and he got 2 touchdowns. The Cardinals' offense probably would take a step back, minus Larry and minus a real starting quarterback, but their defense didn't do that great either. They did have an amazing pick 6 in the game, but other than that, the Cardinals did not look like the team we saw in weeks past. And of course, the best way to finish a horrible Monday is to watch the Jets be winning the entire game and find a way, in Jet style, to lose. The Miami Dolphins, offensively, wasn't doing too great in towards the end of the game, but the New York Jets offense, or at least their passing offense, was non-existent. Geno Smith was only allowed to throw 9 times, which no matter what the Jets front office says, obviously shows they do not trust Smith. Geno was only allowed to throw 9 times, and in those 9 times, he found a way to throw a pick, which ended up losing us the game. That's it for this week. Remember to like this video and subscribe. I'm a Jets fan, signing off.